Ciao friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah and I recently turned 22 and I want to share 22 things that I have learned in my 22 years of life on this earth. In this 22nd year of life, I am coming home to myself more than ever and I can feel it so profoundly, and it is the most beautiful experience ever. I feel like I have unlocked this new layer of myself that is so deeply compassionate and loving, and it is just the sweetest thing to witness and to exist in and be a part of. With that said, I have learned a lot in my 22 years of life, and I also feel like and know that I still have so much more to learn, as we always do. But let's get into it. Number one, I am gay. I am queer, I am gay, you can say whichever one. I am a part of the LGBTQ+ community and I am so freaking proud to be a part of it. And I didn't know for the first 21 years of my life. So this has been something really new and exciting and scary and confusing. My sexuality is very fluid. And with that being said, it can be really confusing. I dated guys my whole life, and then I dated, talked to, situationshipped with one girl, and that like changed everything. This is my journey and pretty cool. Number two, nothing is permanent. Nothing. Not your sexuality, not your experiences, not your body. Tattoos. Honey, these go away. This goes away. Nothing and no one is permanent. And if anything, that should be a deep reminder to find an abundance of gratitude and acceptance for who, how, and where you are today, knowing that it's not all permanent. And also, it can open up our minds to know that, like, okay, this moment in my life, say it's really tough and really hard and really dark and challenging, it's not permanent. There you go. Number three, and I love this one. Love is being held and free at the same time. I think I heard this in Untamed by Glennon Doyle. In this world of duality, which I could talk about forever, we have to be both held and free in order to be loved. When you love someone, you can hold them in a space of love, you can hold them in a space of support, in a space of being seen, known, felt, heard, but then you can also free them to be whoever they are. And I just think that idea is the most beautiful thing ever. Number four, life is a collection of learning and unlearning, which you should buy my poetry book when it comes out. It's called Growth of Mind by Hannah Singer, and the little subtitle is Growth of Mind, a collection of learning and unlearning. Because let me tell you, life truly is a collection of learning and unlearning, and then that cycle repeats over and over and over again. We learn one thing, and then we may unlearn that exact same thing. We have ideas and beliefs and values that are instilled in us when we are born and raised, and through those experiences that we receive and the ideas that we receive from other people, places, things, whatever it is, we then cultivate the things that we have learned, the ideas, our systems that we run by. But when we take a look at our systems and we actually do the deep dives to see who we are, how we are, and why we are the way we are, we can then choose to either hold on to these things that we have learned, or we can go ahead and then unlearn these things because they no longer serve this current version of ourself. And that is so unbelievably powerful. The more that you deep dive into the unlearning of the things and ideas that you have learned, then you can create space and room to evolve new ones and to hold on to new ones. So we're constantly learning and we're constantly unlearning, and the two are very succinct in this dance with one another. We unlearn things not because it's necessarily wrong or bad, it could be, but because it just doesn't serve this present version of who we are. And I find that to be the most humbling journey ever. Number 5, boundaries create freedom. It's this idea of structured freedom. In order to be free, you need to also be held. In order to be held, you also need to be free. Use your no to protect your yes. Boundaries, let me tell you, those things are incredible. They literally are for you. They're not for other people. Your boundaries are yours because they are there to protect and preserve and uplift you and the relationships and experiences that you have. So set them, live by them, honor them, and if other people don't live by them or honor them, have conversations with them, discuss that, and if they continue to not do that, peace. Peace out, Girl Scout. You had your chance. Number 6, surrender. Surrender, 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 surrender. I could say it a million times. Surrender. Let go and let be. The practice of surrendering to what is actually supports us in the cultivating of what is to come. So the more you release the idea of who you think you need to be, who you think you are, and what you think you should or should not be doing, the more you set yourself free to actually just experience your life as it comes and to evolve with the process and the paths that are meant to be a part of your reality and your experience on this earth. Number 7, I am so proud of myself. Now this one is more related to the idea in general that we are so future focused or fixated on our past that we don't always, I should say fixated on the mistakes or things that didn't feel good in our past, that we pull ourselves away from being present with our experience, but not only that, being grateful for the experiences that brought us to who we are and where we're at. We like to quickly rush through things, I feel like, as a world. When we find pride for who, how, and where we are in each moment and for all the things that we have already done, we become less focused on the future and more present with our experiences, which actually can help support us even greater in our future experiences. Number 8, you can love people from a distance, and sometimes you need to. I learned this one kind of the hard way. Learning to still love and appreciate someone, but from a distance, is so beneficial. It can go with friendships, relationships, family, any of that. You can still love someone from a distance. Number 9, loving yourself deeply means loving yourself in your darkness, holding yourself in the discomfort, breathing through the discomfort, being with yourself when those experiences in your life become very challenging or frustrating or just heartbreaking. To truly love yourself is to also hold yourself with compassion in all of the dark and challenging moments, because it's easy to love yourself in those uplifting, lighter moments, but when shit gets hard or things become uncomfortable or we start negatively talking to ourselves, holding yourself in love there and allowing yourself to just be in a state of darkness while still loving yourself is so important, because it teaches you how to move through those experiences that are uncomfortable with just an ounce more of grace and compassion. So love yourself, not just in the light, but also in the darkness. Number 10, and I love this one, swearing is a form of expression, and I fucking love it. Some people have this idea of me that they love to project onto me that I am little peace flower Snow White, and in ways for sure, yeah. And also I fucking love swearing. Honestly, I think part of where my love for swearing comes from is that I used to think it was so wrong. I used to think it was so bad if I swore, that it was like impolite, and there's definitely situations where I don't swear because it feels impolite or not professional, but I also do think swearing is literally just a form of expression, and I think the way that you use words is very important. I used to be like literally the Virgin Mary with swearing. I was like, I would create every word to not say a swear word. Shiitake mushrooms. Number 11, Glennon Doyle, Amanda Doyle, and Abby Wambach. I love you all so much, and your podcast, We Can Do Hard Things, has uplifted and transformed my life in so many ways. And I'm going to keep listening to it, and I'm going to keep uplifting your voices to the people in my community. Glennon Untamed is honestly one of the books that helped me discover my sexuality and life, so thank you. Number 12, poetry is deeply healing, and it has connected me to a part of myself that I never knew how badly I needed to be connected to. I am so excited to share my poetry book. Just the time I spent reading my poetry has seriously healed parts of me, and it will continue to. I love poetry more than I ever thought I would. Number 13, it is okay to miss people, and letting go of someone or something may take time. I like to think of letting go like the leaves of a tree. They don't all just blow away and they're gone all at once, but rather the leaves slowly peel off of the branches bit by bit, day by day, depending on how old the leaves are or how strongly attached they are to the tree. And I think it's the same thing with the people and experiences in our lives. We can't just all of a sudden say, I'm letting them go and they're gone. But some things are deeply ingrained in us. Some people are deeply attached to us. So what we have to do is over and over again, and it might take some time, let those people go. Number 14, pets are a gift, and losing them is absolutely heartbreaking. I'm finally at a stage in the loss of my dog where I can look at it in a positive way and like feel deep compassion and love for her and for the fact that I even had her in my life. But I think animals truly are such a blessing, and the way that we connect with them is so profound. And I know she's in little doggy heaven watching over me. Number 15, should and must are two energies that we hold, and the way that we interact with them is deeply important. We tend to absorb a lot of the shoulds. It's like, you should be this, you should do that, you should not be this, you should not do that, should, no, bye. Then there's the must, and the must is like, you must do this because it is a part of your highest good and it is aligned with your highest self. And that we say, thank you. Your must is your deepest desire or drive or dream. All of the shoulds are placements from external sources or things or people that are driving you in a direction to do yourself and your life and your path a disservice. When you live for anyone else but yourself, you do yourself a disservice. And that ultimately will create more suffering in your experiences, in yourself, and in the experiences of those around you. The shoulds are going to be there always. The should nots are going to be there always, and people are going to deeply project them onto your reality. But it is vital for you to hold up a little guard so that those shoulds and should nots just deflect. This is what matters. Your must. The things that deeply align with you, that make sense for you, that are aligned with your highest, most compassionate, most loving reality. Amen to that. Number 16, the ego lives within us all. And we must not banish the ego, but rather just shift it into the passenger seat. Our egos are innately a part of us as humans. Our egos drive our protection, and they also can drive our darkness in ways. So I like to think of the ego as the passenger in the car. It's there if you need it. It will have a role in your experience on this earth, but it's not in the driver's seat. Number 17. You are all you have from the moment you are born until the moment you die. You have to live your life for you. It is not selfish. It is not greedy. If you live your life aligned with who you truly are and what you truly desire and dream, and you follow those paths and dreams, you will be more aligned. You will be able to live with more compassion, more love, more grace, more peace, more light within yourself, and therefore you can then share and spread all of that compassion, light, peace, and love without of yourself. So live for you. Number 18. Humility is a gift. To not know something is a gift, because then you have the opportunity to learn. I think we become so afraid to be wrong that we put up all of these blocks and shelters and lies in front of who we truly are, what we truly think or know or believe, because we want to project an image of ourselves to the world or to someone. But when you can be humble and stand confidently in the fact that you are wrong, or that you do not know something, or that you still have learning to do, that is so profoundly beautiful. And I admire those people, and I really work to be one of those people, because I think the more that you can say, I don't know that, or I'm sorry, actually I'm wrong and you're right and I apologize. To be wrong is uncomfortable, and it creates fear and it creates a lack mindset. But if you can be wrong, still knowing and trusting that you are enough exactly as you are, that you are inherently worthy, but you're just wrong in this situation, or you have more space to learn, that is so unbelievably beautiful. And that's all I have to say. Number 19, and close your ears if you are... No, actually don't close your ears. Don't. No one. Because that's the problem. This is me unlearning. Sex is something that should be talked about. It is a part of us. Yet we created this taboo aura around sex because I don't know why, honestly. I don't know, actually. But all I do know is that sex should be talked about more, and sex education is something that I didn't realize we needed a lot more of. There's such a lack of information and a lack of discussion around things that are very important to talk about in relations to sex and sexual health and well-being. Especially, like, there's no LGBTQ plus representation in any of it. So, therefore, I have done my own digging, and I have become my own sex educator, so I highly recommend reading books by Emily Nagoski. I am very much an open book when it comes to talking about taboo topics, and I think that sex is definitely one of them, and I want to change and be a part of the rebranding of how we discuss something so human and so normal and so important in our world. Number 20. Yoga has the power to heal and connect on a cellular level. I have learned more about life through the lens of yoga, and about myself through the lens of yoga, than I have ever learned in any academic setting. Yoga has deeply allowed me to transform my mind, to uplift my soul, to connect to my spirituality and cultivate a sense of spirituality, and it has allowed me to literally change my life from the ground up, and I love it so much. So much. Number 21, thank you, meditation. Thank you for healing me. Thank you for teaching me to be still. Thank you for teaching me to let go. Thank you for teaching me how to become the observer of my experience. As you think, you create. What you focus on expands. So when you think and you focus on these thoughts, they will expand and become your reality. But when you meditate, you become the observer of your experience, and therefore you transform your reality by transforming where your focus is going. Being able to come back to your breath when the mind wanders is so challenging, and also such a high quality skill that will help you out in your day-to-day experiences. That is what I mean when I say meditation can literally transform your reality. Number 22. Duality is existence. The light and dark are intrinsically intertwined. And I know I'm a Libra, so of course I'm like all about the balance, but it is so unbelievably true and powerful when you actually understand this idea that duality is existence. And because you have one, you have the other. The power of having the ebb and flow of the two is that they dance with one another in order to bridge you to different versions of yourself as your life goes on. No matter how old you are, no matter who you are, what you do, there will always be duality in your experience. Okay, y'all, that is it. 22 things that I have learned in the 22 years of my life. But these are the things that have resonated with me most heavily lately, and things that I have kind of seen transform over my life, things that I have learned in my experience in these 22 years, and also, who knows, I may unlearn some of these things, and that's okay. And I'm just happy to be here. Thanks for listening if you did, and I hope this inspired you in some way, shape, or form. And if you resonate with any of these, please let me know. Comment something down below. But I would love to have more engagement on my YouTube channel, so if you wouldn't mind giving it a like or leaving a comment or subscribing, that would mean a lot. Okay, ciao. Mwah.